Hello, welcome to the Horti-Culturalists. I'm Matthew Lucas, still locked down in Melbourne.
And I'm Stephen Ryan, and don't forget to subscribe and press the alert button so that you'll know when next week's video comes up.
So, Mr. Ryan, what adventures do you have for us today?
This week's topic is one of my garden thugs. It's the gold-leafed hop. Now, this is a form of the commercial hop, but it's grown as an ornamental. And its botanical name is Humulus, lupulus, Aureus. Now there's a surfeit of the letter U if there ever was one. Humulus is thought to come from the ancient Slavic or German language that has been Latinized, and it was actually the name of the plant. Lupulus means little wolf, and that's alluding to the fact that this climbing plant will come up and smother almost anything that it's growing on. Aureus, of course, means gold, so golden leafed hop. And it is a fabulous plant.
Okay, so firstly, why would you want to grow a garden thug, a suckering, taking over kind of plant? I'm sure you have an answer for that. And secondly, the name, quite beautiful. I love the notion of the wolf coming to get you.
Now we need to discuss the growing habit of this particular plant. It's a suckering thug and it comes up all over my garden if I don't manage it. So each year I have to go in with a sharp spade and cut through the rhizomes that are growing further out than I want it. And that way I keep it and manage it. You might find it better to grow it in a large container or pot. That way you can keep it in order.
So pleased it can grow in pots because, you know, I live for pot culture.
Why do we want this suckering thug in our garden? Because it's herbaceous, it dies down in the winter and you can clean it up. So I've got it growing on this blue painted pot stand. I don't want the dead stems of some climber disguising it during the winter. So I clean it away. The pot stand stands there looking handsome in the garden. And in the summer, the blue pot stand with the golden foliage makes a great effect. Another way you could be using it is, say you've got a north-facing, at least in the southern hemisphere, a north-facing veranda or a western-facing one where it gets really, really hot and sunny in the summer. You could run wires or strings from ground level up to the fascia board of the veranda, and in a matter of weeks, the golden hop will be up there giving you summer shade. Come winter, you cut it all off at ground level and it lets that fabulous winter sun in. So it could be a very useful plant in that way.
Wow, it looks beautiful, and I've never seen it before, and I must say the leaves look somewhat like a raspberry. I wonder if it's in the same family. You will have to leave a message, Stephen, in the comments below. FYI, horticulturists, I am loving Stephen's repurposed pot stand. We might have to do a whole show about garden hardware. Okay, the million-dollar question, what is its hardiness? Where can it grow and what are the best conditions?
Now this plant is really hardy. Because it's herbaceous, it dies down in the winter and it can grow in virtually the coldest of climates. I've seen it growing beautifully in England, North America. Fabulous plant in those colder parts. Probably not for the tropics, but you know, it would be ideal in most people's gardens. It likes a sunny aspect, although I do find in Australia when we get a 45-degree day with a howling northwesterly, it can burn. But it's surprisingly heat tolerant as well. So it will grow in a very wide range of conditions.
What a great idea to grow it in a pot. And I also love the idea that it's such a fast grower that it produces all this beautiful summer shade, and yet you cut it down in winter. A wonder plant. Given it's a suckering thug, I'm imagining it's not difficult to propagate.
Once you've got your initial plant, propagation couldn't be simpler. All you have to do is to stick a spade through the creeping rhizomes in the winter, pull out one of the rhizomes and pot it up, instant new plant. So it is really, really easy to propagate.
What a beautiful plant. And I've never seen your golden hop before, Stephen. And in fact, the first time I ever saw hops grown decoratively was only a couple of years ago with a friend. And she has the regular, what is it, the hop of culture, the hop that's used for beer, growing up her trellis in her fruit and vegetable garden. And it was amazing. And I couldn't believe what it was. And I asked her. But funnily enough, as I approached, you really could smell beer. There was a beery smell in the air. You haven't mentioned if your smells of beer, you're going to have to leave a comment below.
Because the golden hop is herbaceous, you can also use it growing up through a tree or shrub as a support. Dies down in the winter, you clean up the rubbish, and then it starts again in the spring. In this case, I've actually got it growing up through a weeping holly, and the dark green of the holly and the gold of the golden hop, I think, makes a fabulous contrast.
And I must say, your spring garden is looking amazing. And we started this channel in midsummer, so I haven't ever actually seen your garden in the flesh in spring as it is now. So I am deeply resentful of this global pandemic.
Now we're in a part of my garden where the golden hop's gone nuts and it's taken off right through the garden beds. So it isn't a plant for the mildly interested. You do have to manage it, and I'm certainly going to have to manage this. So I guess I could say I have to hop to it.
Oh, Stephen, ending with a dad joke. Anyway, I hope you have all hopped to it and liked and subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of our continuing adventures, do tune in. We post once a week, every Friday. And if you have any questions about today's episode, do put them below, because Stephen Ryan is the guru and expert and he can answer them. And we will both look forward to seeing you next week.